Congratulations on the success of this show of the first season, man. And you have to be stoked about this show so far.
Blessed, humbled, grateful, excited, everything in between. I promise you. Found was the show that I didn't know I needed.
It must make you and the cast feel excellent that not only have the fans accepted and loved this show, but the network gave you guys their big thumb of approval and gave you a second season.
It says a lot, especially in this day, new age
Yes,
of TV and how things are going. It feels so good to know that the network is behind us the way that they are. And respectfully, the best way to say it, they put their money where their mouth is.
yeah,
They stand behind the show, they care about the show, and they've given us and NK the freedom to let the show be what it's supposed to be.
exactly. Well, before we start talking about the show, I want to talk about this character a little bit. When you first were approached about this role, I mean, this character suffers from agoraphobia, which is, it's crippling for people. And I'm wondering, what did you know about that condition, and did you do any kind of research preparing for the role?
I think stepping into the role of Zeke initially, you hear agoraphobia, excuse me, as an actor, and the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, they can't leave, or that's it. That's the basis foundation of it. Getting into the nuances of it, playing Zeke, you learn that it's more than just you can't leave a physical space. It's a lot more mental anguish that comes into play.
Interesting.
Sometimes it's based on time. It could be based on atmosphere. It's not always necessarily a building. Agoraphobia can present itself in ways where I can't do something during a certain time. I'm not going to eat breakfast till this time because I don't want this to happen. Or, it floats in your head like that. And so getting into the layers of what it is to play Zeke with his agoraphobia was layered because obviously he doesn't leave his home. But even when I'm playing Zeke and he's in his safe space, there's still moments there where I have to tap into how is today different from yesterday? That part of it. Why does he get dressed the way that he get dressed? Why does it seem like he's ready to go somewhere, but he never goes anywhere? What is Zeke doing on a daily basis to make today different than it was yesterday? So it's not monotonous. How does he protect his sanity, for lack of a better word?
What I love about this season two finale is like the show creators kind of flipped it a little bit. We got that big reveal at the beginning of the episode with
Yeah.
Hugh getting away. And I love that because it increases the drama throughout the episode, especially for Gabby, knowing that she's got this high profile case, but this guy's loose. So did
Oh
you
yeah.
like that aspect of it when you read the script for that finale?
I loved it. I thought that that aspect of the script was one. It makes for good TV, obviously,
Yeah.
and you could tell the writers know what they're doing because you give the audience exactly what they're asking for. I love shows where I'm sitting there and I'll ask myself a question like, "Hold up, what about the?" And then a couple moments later, well, there's your answer. That means they got me exactly where they want me, and I'm on a string. I'm riding the wave with them. And so that reveal for us in season two is exactly what the audience wants. You don't make them wait too long for what they've been wanting to see and know, but at the same time, you set them up for the long burn. There's
Mhm.
something bigger. There's something underneath here going on as well too. So you give them what they wanted for, but then you give them something else in the menu. Like, just wait till this gets delivered.
Yeah, because throughout that season, I mean, Gabby has been almost like kind of a superhero to all of you guys that she works with, and now we see her as viewers as someone who's always been in control. Now she's not in control, and it's
Yeah,
interesting to watch her throughout that case in that episode.
there's going to be an unraveling, I think, of all the characters for season two with this new secret that's out now. The boogeyman, the nightmare that was Sir, that was always in the back of everyone's head, safely in the past, in the wind. No, no, nothing, in the news that's been serviceable or real that we've said, okay, it's really happening. Like he's been in the wind. And as far as Gabby goes, Sir has been in the basement, locked safely in the basement, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Now we should all be wondering as viewers, how will each character unravel? Because now that nightmare is no longer just a nightmare, it's real, it is tangible, and then not only is it tangible, it's broken this whole thing apart.
Yep.
M&A is blown up because of this secret, you know. And then you have to ask yourself, how do we feel about the work that we've done? Does it still stand, even though we may not have done it wholeheartedly by ourselves?
I loved how they did the scene where Gabby finally comes clean to the team, and we don't hear anything. We just see reactions from everyone.
Yeah.
The first question I had was, did she just come clean with she had contact with him, or did she tell them everything that she had the guy in the basement, blah blah blah? Did she do we know if she told you guys everything at all?
I think we find out details of what she's told us.
Okay.
And you have to imagine, uh, after the initial shock and the get away from me, I can't even have you in my presence in space, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of details that we're going to want to know, a lot. And I think come season 2, you're going to get a lot of those answers. You're going to get all of the nitty gritty, probably more than we've even shown you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be dark, and I think, and I hope that through all of that, that we're still able to do the good work that we have been doing. You know, how do we still keep this thing going? That'll probably be the lingering question. Like, are we able to still sustain this thing that we built? What are we standing on? Is it firm ground, or are we sinking? What's going on here?
It's interesting because watching Zeke's reaction to that news, again, I'm writing notes down because I'm just a TV nerd. I'm like, I wonder if he's feeling, what is he feeling? Anger, hurt, betrayal. I mean, all of the above. I mean, how does someone process all those emotions at one time?
I think the best way as an actor, you approach it from a place of, this is a relationship, and I've been hurt, I've been lied to. There's lack of trust. I don't know. I built something with you and this team, and you lied to my face time and time again. You know, and so now there's a I think for Zeke there's just a sense of just dishonesty and mistrust, and especially for Zeke and his agoraphobia, Mosley and Associates has been his safe space.
Yep. Yep.
This has been the safe space that he has built that has allowed him to grow past some of his agoraphobia to get to where he is now. I don't even know how many steps that's going to bring him back, you know, or it can propel him forward too at the same time, depending on what he does with this new trauma that he's facing. But with the relationship of Gabby and Zeke, it's broken, man.
Yeah.
It is broken in a way that in most relationships, when things happen like this, two things can happen. Either we're breaking up, or are we going to sit down and try to figure this thing out? And if we do figure this thing out, what do we call it? Because it can't be called what it was before.
Exactly. You
It's
can't
going
go
to be
back.
called something different. Yeah.
Yep. It's interesting. I love the dichotomy of this season, especially this episode, because you guys spend your time chasing down these monsters, and lo and behold, Gabby technically is one of these monsters holding someone down in her basement. I mean, that itself is just it amazed me, and I thought it was really really interesting.
I think it definitely leans itself on the and I'm sure you've heard the term, hurt people.
Yep.
Uh, Unhealed people will hurt people. You know, and it's a reminder that even though we've done all of this amazing work, we've brought so many people home and solved so many cases, we are all unhealed in one way, shape, or form.
Yep.
We are not perfect. We are flawed. And it reminds the audience there's a lot more that we don't know about these characters that we're falling in love with. And I hope that we have many, many seasons to pull back all of those layers and give the audience everything that they want, which is getting to know these people, not law enforcement, not superheroes, just people and how their trauma that they've tried to turn into a good thing has either helped them heal or has masked the unhealing that that has yet to be done.
I'm curious for you working on this show, has it given you a new perspective and more respect for people who do this for a living, who find lost people?
It has given me tremendously more respect. I've already, I already had a lot of empathy, respect, and admiration for the people that do this kind of work. Uh, and I think I've answered this in other places where I've been asked, "What is the most challenging part of what we do on this show?" And the most challenging part is knowing that in real life, this is actually happening in some way, shape, or form.
Hmm.
It's a scary, scary thing.
Yeah.
And then you think about the people that give their time, their effort, their life, and their love to doing the good work and really trying to bring these people home. And then you have to ask yourself, those days when they don't win, when they don't bring those people home, or when they find a body and not a live person, how does that affect that mentality? That's a tremendous weight to carry. So the respect is there, the love is there, the admiration is there, and I'm glad that I get to be on a show where we get to obviously entertain and have fun and do all those amazing things, but at the same time, we get to shine the light on the good work that is really being done out there. And if we can make you think a little bit deeper, look twice if you see something happening,
Yeah.
ask a question, pull over and stop, just to make sure everything's okay. Go a little bit further, then I think we're doing something good.
For you as an actor, being basically tied to one set, how has that been for you, working on these scenes with the rest of the cast?
It's been a challenge in a good way. As an actor, I do, I can say I easily do 90% of my work alone. I'm in a completely different set from the rest of the cast. I also have to create a lot of my visuals in front of me. As if we were doing this scene right now, and you were at Mosley and Associates, because of the way my cameras are set up, I can't look directly into the camera like this because if I do, it gives a bad angle for TV.
Right.
So that means what I have to do, I go over to rehearsal and I take a mental screenshot of everything that's happening. Margaret moves here, Lacey goes there, Don stays in that moment, and then he gets his line and he moves over here. Trent walks in, and Gabby comes from the office, and then I take a mental screenshot of all of that, and then I go to Zeke's, and when it's my coverage, I recreate all of that in a space that is not looking directly at the camera, and then I just create it, and I go. It's very much green screen work in a way,
Yeah,
so
I was
it's
going to say that. Yeah.
challenging
Yeah.
and it's a lot of sound. I'm listening, which is you always want to do that as an actor. If you're listening, you listen and you respond, you feel, you let the emotion lead you. So it's been a great amount of work that I get to do. But I have a great coach in Catlin Adams that has prepared me for this moment. We work on shadow work which means I'm working with my inner child. We work on animal, meaning when Zeke is by himself, what type of animal are you today? Do you feel locked in this space today, or do you feel more free? All of those things come into play, and it's just fun. As an actor, it's something that I'm really enjoying.
For me as a viewer who watches a lot of television, one thing I noticed about this show in the first season, you guys truly found your rhythm early. A lot of shows don't find their rhythm early in the first. It takes 4 or 5, maybe several episodes into the season. But you guys, for me, seems like you found your rhythm pretty early.
Well, we appreciate that, and I will leave that in the hands of two worlds. Obviously, phenomenal writing. NK and the writing staff at Found do an amazing job. They give us the foundation, the base that what we need as actors to just breathe and go. And there's always a conversation had. If you have a question, let's talk about it. You're not bound. They give you the freedom to work. And then it's the actors. I can absolutely say they hired the right actors for the job because everyone there brings something specifically special, unique, and different. And then we all give each other the space to breathe and be. We challenge each other. We respect one another. We just have a good time. It's easily one of the, if not the most giving and rewarding sets that I've been on in my career thus far.
And my final question for you is, what's this upcoming second season? What do you hope happens with Zeke as far as M&A, dealing with Gabby, his agoraphobia? I mean, what can fans look forward to with this second season?
I hope that for season two, Zeke gets even louder with his voice, what he wants, what he needs. I hope that Zeke and Lacey figure their stuff out. um, and I just hope that Zeke continues to see himself as a valuable member of Mosley and Associates, and find new ways to be a part of the team. I think even when I'm working, there's quiet moments that I've created for Zeke where he always will feel inadequate and not connected because I can't go to the scene. I can't do the press conference. I can't be there and help. And so those quiet moments of emptiness and not being completely part of the team is a part of playing Zeke. So I hope that Zeke finds his peace of mind and know that he's part of something special and he's needed.